Welcome to King's Court YouTube. This is yet another review of some tanks from World of Tanks. And the one that we're looking at today is the Fury, which is a Tier 6 American Premium modeled after the movie. So that makes it an easy 8. If you're not certain what that is, there's the M4, and then there was a variant of it that basically went into like M4 AE8. So, yeah, it might be a little longer than that, but that's the gist of it. So, those that are new, what I'm doing is I do a review of the tank. I don't go into like super crazy details. I just give you the general gist of what you need to know for the tank to hopefully best perform in the tank. Also, knowing its strengths and weaknesses helps you out as a player against it, if you are against it. And then, is it worth it, that kind of stuff. And then I also do a guide to help explain a lot of the tank's potential and like how to best use it, so that way you can hopefully get good performance out of the tank. So, let's start with the pros. On the Fury specifically, it has a special gun where it's got a faster rate of fire, it's accurate, and it has a slightly higher pen than all the other ones that you would expect. Now, what that does is it makes it very exceptional as a supportive tank, which is technically a medium's role. A medium's role is to be more on the flanks, trying to get into certain positions, to be able to help put fire down onto targets. So, to continue pros, it has decent eyes, and it has okay camo. It does have some armor to it that makes it to where it's not super fast. But as you can see, it's still getting up to like the 40-41 range, which is about average for medium tanks. Now, that said, at Tier 6, going against Tier 7s and Tier 8s, the armor's not going to hold up, so bear that in mind. And it does have really good gun depression because, as most American vehicles do, they have good gun depression. So you see here, I'm just able to pump out rounds, which is why it's also very nice. It has extremely high damage per minute potential. Now, the cons. Well, sadly, even though it does have some armor, it's not going to really hold up against most of its tier. While it does have good view range, it does not necessarily have like super camo. Now, it means you can hold up for some camo, but you'll note, like, just bear in mind, you're not going to be as camoed up as a lot like some of the other medium tanks that you'll run into. And as I mentioned, like the speed is kind of moderate. So not crazy in speed. Its maneuverability is not very good either. So like if things are trying to do circles around you, you'll actually see that you'll have some trouble trying to deal with them. And that's really most of the gist for it. As you'll see, it's not exactly super accurate. It's able to shoot really fast. The aim time's okay on it. It's just not extremely accurate. So those are the gist of the cons. And you'll see on here, like you can see, my view range is pretty good. So it's not max, but it's pretty good. And the radio range only goes a certain part after that. So if I was to rate that as a con, I would say yes, it's slightly a con. But most tanks at this tier, you're not going to get like really exceptional radios. So what are the gists? So it does have like around 120 alpha damage average, but it also has about 120 to 130 penetration, which means at tier 6, it's going to do really well. Most tanks at Tier 6 it can penetrate. A lot of tanks at Tier 7 it can actually penetrate. Where it will struggle is against Tier 8s. Most Tier 8s will have armor to a point that it's not going to do very well against it. It needs to flank them. If you can get side shots and things like that, that's great. Now bear in mind though, as a guide, right, things I would recommend, you want to be supportive, so that means don't try to be a frontline pusher. Especially with the damage per minute that this tank has, if you go and push and you get killed, that's a lot of damage potential that your team just lost by you dying. Now, because it has gun depression and things like that, you can get into pretty interesting spots that allow you to kind of angle a little better, making it harder for you to be seen, but also allowing you to utilize the armor that you do have in case someone does shoot at you. If you run into Tier 8s and you notice that they're actually particularly strong, which you might have seen that I was doing before, particularly with like the P43 Biz, where it had good enough armor that I was having trouble penetrating it, I actually would actually start tracking it. And the reason being is, like I said, it's about being supportive. So I was trying to track it simply to make sure that my team would have the potential to continuously damage it if possible. So that's trying to keep them out into exposed. Now, you'll see it's able to get up to speed pretty quick, which that's the good part. But it's turning and stuff like that is where it kind of lacks a little bit. So you see there, even with that, I was trying to track him. The side shot's helpful, but you know, if I could get him tracked because he's trying to rush. That's the kind of the gist for it. And you'll see here I'm able to kind of roll up. Not necessarily the best part, I would say. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm pretty certain they're not there and I'm trying to spot. So that's why you'll notice I didn't pull all the way forward. That would level me out so I would have a shot. Because one, I'm having a shot ready for the Tiger. But now I will, because I'm like, well, this guy's low enough. I need to put shots into him. Now I missed one. Now I know I'm spotted. I missed two. I can only take the second shot before I would get shot myself. So that's where I'm hearing all these other shots. Now bear in mind, like I said, I was there to spot. So I did spot a lot of targets. Now this is the kind of gist of what you want to do for this gameplay. So you want to be able to maneuver around. You want to be able to support your team. Try to be in position to try to spot. Not necessarily always taking shots. When necessary. So like if I needed to just spot and that was it, that's fine. But in my position, I'm actually able to maneuver. So like here you'll see we're just able to take these guys apart. And that is what the fear, like, so like right there, just the overall damage potential. I mean, for a tier 6 to pull in like 950 damage, that's really good. And that is really the key thing with it. So if you're interested in the Fury, I do recommend it. But like I said, it's not like the Jumbo. And it's not going to have the same, well actually it does have about the same gun potential as the top gun that you get off the EZ8. You'll see here I'm playing around because I love the Fury. It's a really cool tank. So definitely worth it. It is a credit grabber, so because you're the damage potential and the fact that you can damage higher tier targets, and like I said, just you talk about hit and run tactics. You know, it's trying to support your team, using your angling to your benefit and your depression to your benefit as well. And then the fact that it has the ability to get up to speed relatively quickly, which means that you can roll forward, you can roll back, tricking people to fire at you because they expect you to be stuck out a little bit, and then you're actually already rolling back and they don't even realize it. So again, I hope these things are helping you guys. I hope you enjoy these. Please let me know. Feel free to like, subscribe. Let me know if there's particular tanks that you want to play. I am starting to get ready to try to like do some streaming and things like that. So I'm aiming at like 8 p.m. Most likely on the weekends. Probably like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe not Saturday, but we'll see. And then like maybe sometimes during the week, I can even stream for World of Tanks, but I mean it is World of Tanks. Some matches can get you pretty aggressive, so I'm curious to see what you guys think and if you want to actually see any of that kind of stuff. So thanks again, and I will catch you on the next one.